This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh. Yes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Link Up Podcast with your host, Mr. King, Kana, and Woods here in the building.
What's going on, everybody?
What is up, my fellow Homo sapien?
How's everybody doing on this fine day?
By Monday, you know.
Everybody all right?
It ain't been such a bad week. I can't complain.
I haven't slept.
Oh yeah.
You know, my you know what? Might as well get it off your chest, Woods. Get it out.
Look.
Get it out.
We have been graced by the gods up in Japan.
All of that?
They have released a game.
Mm-hmm.
Not just any game. Arguably the best fighting game ever made.
Hey.
All of that?
Hey. Let's not get carried away now.
It's the best-selling fighting game. It's consistent. People keep buying it by the droves.
But what, did the game come out, or what did they just announce?
They just showed us a glorious logo.
That's my hype.
And the internet.
The man hype off a logo.
The internet exploded.
Try to get volumes right, cause see it peeking straight.
Super Smash Brothers. For the Switcher.
What was the name of this one? Come in, they had Super Smash Brothers, then they went to Melee, then they went to Brawl.
Okay, look,
and
the naming...
I stopped caring after when they bring the Wii U. I stopped caring after that, so I don't know what the
naming of Super Smash Brothers, okay, they started good, right?
What was the Wii U one? Super Smash Bros. Wii U?
Yes. And then they had one for 3DS too. It was Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS.
Oh, you know this one is Super Smash Switch?
No.
Switch?
So this one is going to have an original... This one is going to have an original title.
Oh, wow.
That's what the Lord Almighty Sakurai, that's the creator of the game.
Mm-hmm. I say Lord Almighty.
Hey, when it comes in the gaming,
I mean, he and probably what's this guy named Sakurai is one thing, but then it's also she can't sleep on Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah.
No, you
can't sleep on Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah,
this is bringing out the nerd side of me from my youth. Listen, Shigeru Miyamoto was one of my idols back in my youth when I decided I wanted to be a game designer for whatever reason. I was misguided in my childhood. In my childhood, I was misguided.
Kirby?
I was never much of a Kirby fan.
Link, Mario, Zelda, like Shigeru Miyamoto did everything.
I mean, he is the Nintendo god in gaming worlds. But I mean, I wasn't as
the franchises that he created, the characters that he creates, span franchises that they're still profiting off of today, dog.
Mario came out in October.
Mario
sold 9 million in 2 months now.
Right. I mean, Nintendo have a loyal fan base. Nobody can.
That's been the biggest criticism about Nintendo over the years, though, because they just relying on those franchises, the Links, the Zelda, the Marios. Those is the main things that driving people towards buying a Nintendo, because they always been lacking the third party support, because they never had the graphic capabilities and stuff as the other two in the marketplace. So like a lot of the Modern Warfares and things, they always had like a little bootlegger version for the Wii or the Switch or whatever and things like that. It was never the same exact Modern Warfare that the other two systems.
But you see, that's the thing. Modern Warfare and Call of Duty and them kind of games is more marketed towards the serious gamers. Well, where Nintendo is
a different age group. I would not say serious.
What I mean, serious gamers. I mean
mature.
Well, what defines?
No, but honestly though, if you look at the game like Mario Party and Mario Kart and them type of games, that's the typical things that most people that have a Nintendo platform is probably those type of games and things they buying it for, because like I said, they usually lack the third party support. So if you're going for the FIFAs and the 2Ks and all of these other things, they probably have like a version, games, but it's just not the same one that you would get on the, what do you call it?
Yeah, that's for sure. But they did a study recently. So I was saying the same thing until they did a study, and what came out of that study was very interesting. So what they noticed is that a lot of the Nintendo gamers are actually people
who are into nostalgia.
Yeah. So there's people in the late 20s, early 30s that mostly play Nintendo games, and they're bringing the younger kids in, but the majority are still older, and the Call of Duties are actually the younger kids, which makes sense because young kids
they don't know
want to be old. No, they want to be older because they want to play what older kids are
and I
playing.
think it's also like the family aspect and thing. That's definitely the more thing about the Nintendo system. They always been emphasizing the multiplayer. Let's bring people together. I mean, that's what the whole name of the Wii and stuff like that.
We don't go by Woods and run Monopoly and you know, I'll cut your ass in poking, you know. And,
Sean, don't lie to the people.
I love like basically the whole concept behind it. So I definitely, I feel like that makes sense. Like in a party setting, or if you got guests over and thing, I much rather put on a Switch or a thing like that, because
run some Mario Kart.
What he's saying with the serious gamers and thing, the type of games that they have on the Wii, is a lot less skill and is more about fun type of thing. And I ain't saying
it depends on what game. Yeah, that's the thing.
Come Mario Kart, there's a certain amount of skill in it. But I mean, if you get the
especially this new one,
if you get
this new one, you need like you can't Nintendo Mario Kart. You can just pick up, press A, move the thing. Like there wasn't really no technicality with that.
Yeah, but
press
what I mean
A
is
and
like
move the thing.
The special abilities and the powers and thing. Those is take away in some things the need for the skill, because it makes a lot more of a balanced playing field. If you suck, you get all the lightning and the star while in full place and thing.
That don't work now, but you got like there's specific ways of the drift and you got to practice
but
that. And then
from the GameCube, that.
Yeah, but this they really like define this one, like it more intense.
The only thing I'm saying right now is like there's like a split between Nintendo games. So you have the casual ones, and then you have like the quote unquote, I don't like the term, it's stupid, but okay, hardcore ones. So you have Splatoon, which looks like a kiddie game, like you see like someone splatting ink on the ground and thing, but it's a very deep game. Like not everybody you can pick up and play it and have fun, but if you're going to play competitively, then it's a whole other story, you know.
Yeah,
and the same thing with Smash, and like Smash is like the biggest fighting game, tournament game.
You don't have to
next to Street Fighter. No.
These was the man I used to cut my ass in
when it comes to
GameCube
Smash in particular. Like I was like, to me, one of the best games ever was Smash Brothers on the GameCube in particular.
Melee,
Brawl, when it went to the Wii, and that was the reason I bought a Wii. To only for Smash Brothers, and I was like, this is not what I was doing on the Melee.
You want to see
they changed the game, they slow it down, they made like a whole bunch of different things to the game.
You play the one on Wii U?
Nah.
That's closer to Melee than to Brawl.
I tuned out from Nintendo. I sold my Wii because I was like, this was the worst investment I ever made.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
We had some good nights. We had some good argument nights on with the Wii, man.
I bought it for Brawl. I enjoyed it. I played Wii Sports for a little bit and think that was cool for like 3 days or something like that. And I was like, every other game for this thing, like the games that they had for it was terrible. It took them a long time before they was even bringing out games. Like initially, they didn't have much titles to support it and stuff coming out. And then it's like, the ones that people actually cared about, the Marios and the Zeldas and all the big titles, they was like slated for later in the year. And I was like, so what am I going to do with this thing? I just sold it and I was like, switch to an Xbox.
But the Switch has not disappointed. It's only been a year. We already have Zelda, Mario, and now fucking Smash Brothers.
I ain't gonna lie, that Pokken is a tense game, dog. I like that game.
There's like a fighting game. Yeah, it's Pokemon and Tekken.
It's legit Pokemon and Tekken. It's like the Tekken mechanics with Pokemon. Is tense, Jet. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy that game.
You should come over to a game night and you could just...
The name of it... yeah, let's go play Pokemon.
Yeah, but I mean, really, there's no.
Now I catch what you mean.
There's no good way for any man above 23 to be like, hey, you want to play some Pokemon?
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon
I have
is
no
one
shame.
thing. I feel like Pokemon isn't a style. Like when you say Pokemon, Pokken. Like Pokken.
I mean.
Yeah, but you see, that's how you get people to engage. Like, what the fuck is Pokken? And be like, yeah, you know, is
no,
Tekken.
Don't poke me. No, stay away from me.
See, this is what happens when you try to explain a Caribbean man something.
Don't poke me. This is not Facebook.
Like are you Pokey? He's a bunch of Pokey.
I don't know what's going on in the house, but I ain't poking nobody. No.
Exactly. Keep the pokes on Facebook.
But
and even then, I never understood that poke feature on Facebook.
I know, me neither.
That thing never made no sense.
It makes you automatically look like a creep.
It's me having nothing else. It's true. Like, yo,
such and such just poke you.
Like,
why are you telling me this?
I ain't gonna lie, no. I used to get a little upset sometimes. Yo, what you poking me for? Like, what? Why?
I ain't gonna lie. I used to poke girls when they complain.
Wave at people.
Oh, that's like actually something.
Yeah. When you just add people or whatever, and you open like the group chat, you say like wave to this person.
Say hi.
Like why? No, I don't want to hail nobody. No.
I did. What? I did. Wait, okay.
I surprised actually.
Because I'm sometimes I'm a creep. I'm not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I see like a girl says, "Hey, why are all these people poking me?" I gonna poke you.
Yeah, but a poke and a wave is different though.
No, but I do both now.
He don't discriminate. He does both.
For me, it's more like because people know who I am. I'm an annoying, weird type of character. So when I do something, I do it with the intention of making you feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Oh,
you know?
Okay, see, the man's intention is to make you uncomfortable.
I mean, sometimes doing that is fun. Not for the person that's getting the poke, but for the poker.
Not for the pokey, but for the
poker. For the poker, it is very fun, you know?
Yo, this starts off completely different than how we really wanted to. But
I mean, what else is new? What else is new?
Let's try to rate it back a little bit more. You know, we'll talk about something a little bit more serious. You know, the 2 episodes ago we had Hassani on, and you know we was getting prepared. He was preparing for the St. Maarten elections, and the elections was 2 weeks ago. No. It was 2 weeks.
I'm bad with dates. The election was the 26th of February.
It wasn't last week.
It was the 26th of February.
Okay.
To me, the election was.
Yeah, it was on a Monday.
However much weeks ago, the 26th of February was.
Okay, well, it was the 26th of February.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. So about 2 weeks ago. And I would assume that everybody from St. Maarten already knows it. But for like those... Our international listeners, you know, we can say that now. We got international
people like
listeners.
Me.
Oh yeah, and Woods, who ain't from St. Maarten. The results were that the United Democrats, which the party that Hassani was on, has 7 seats. The National Alliance has 3 seats. The US party has 5? No, that don't make sense. 2 seats. And the SMCP, which is the St. Maarten Christian Party, has 1 seat.
Yeah.
And to form government is 15.
There's 15 seats in
15
total,
seats.
so you need a majority
for
which
those.
Would be 8.
You know, just a quick cap up. So in other words, some parties have to partner up with each other, whether it's UPDP or UP and UD, my bad, and NA, or UD and SM, the Christian Party. But as of now, as far as I know, there's no coalition has been formed from the taping of, at the time that we tape this. So, yeah, we still have to see what's going to happen with government and how it's going to form and who the party is going to be and who's going to be in charge of what. And then that's going to be a whole nother fiasco when it happens. So that's about that for that. I mean, I don't know how much, unfortunately, Hassani got personally.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could have found it, but I don't know. I didn't know where to necessarily look for that information being away from the island.
I was kind of on vacation as well, so.
Stay tuned for that in another episode.
We can discuss that on a later date.
We could just touch on that slightly. I mean, for those who was really paying attention, if you notice between the Hassani video and the one that came after that, if you look at the recording dates of those videos, it was like 3 days apart. You know, that's just for the real fans who really paying attention.
And that was because Woods and I and another friend of mine of ours, we went on a small trip. We went Malta. For a couple of days, and one of the days we wouldn't have been there to record, so we recorded an extra episode. So that's why, if you were paying attention,
professional, we make sure in advance.
We always have content for you.
Exactly.
We're not missing a week. We have yet to miss a week. We don't. We miss a week.
We missed one months back or whatever. But I mean, I had 1 week. I think that was around Christmas, something like that. Maybe.
But they would have never know if we didn't say anything.
And it's a holiday period. Nobody pays attention.
It's okay. So, we've been pretty consistent. So, that's the reason for, the disparity, I guess.
But I mean, since you mentioned it, and since we cannot write down the topic, how was the Malta trip? I was seeing a couple clips and things here and there from this guy's snap. I don't got you on the snap and stuff like that, but from Kana, I saw some images, and it looked nice, some views and...
Okay, I'm gonna start by saying this.
I saw a lot of alcohol beverage consumption.
I was trying my best not to drink alcohol for 6 months. That failed in the first day.
I
am not ashamed. I'm not ashamed about it.
You relapsed.
Things happen. Sometimes you have goals and
it doesn't work out.
It doesn't work out, but that doesn't mean you have to.
Life happens.
Yeah, But I'm actually happy because it
was worth it in your mind.
It made some very interesting encounters.
Got some memories then.
Yes.
But why we got memories, we got pictures, we got videos.
I got videos now.
We got videos.
Stay tuned for when we really go in depth into that episode because we're going to show you some videos of people doing
super
crazy.
Duper ignorant, but where's Malta?
Malta is like the south of Italy. It's an island like the south, like really south part, and that's part of Italy because it's not part of Italy.
And for the separate country, like the peninsula of Italy type of thing.
A couple.
It's like if you're in the airport of Italy, it takes like an hour to fly over to there.
Yeah. So, but Malta is like no part of Italy.
Oh yeah, they're like full flying.
They're their own island.
Yeah. We went from Amsterdam to Rome, and from Rome to Malta.
And then when we came back, we just had a direct flight.
Yeah.
We could have just gotten a direct flight there too, but these people trying to save money,
students. We trying to travel. We trying to ball on a budget, literally.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with being financially savvy and being responsible with your money.
Hey, we millennials.
You don't listen to 444 from Jay-Z, although I know the answer is no with you, Kana, but you should have. Like we talking about like empowerment and
like I don't need
your finances. I know you don't need.
I don't need to listen to Jay-Z for that. I had a
but this
thing
is part of the hype now. You gotta understand.
No,
you gotta be part of the hype.
No. This man says he doesn't listen to Jay-Z, but in Malta when they showed that Jay-Z track, this man starts singing.
Which one?
He acts like so the two tracks that they played consistently. That's one thing about Malta I don't like. If you go out the first night in Malta, you will know exactly what tunes they will play for the rest of the vacation.
Well, but you see,
are you going to the same?
Wait.
No.
In Malta's defense and the DJ's defense, Woods is a DJ, so he has more of an ear to that kind of thing. I didn't realize that until like the 5th day. So it wasn't that apparent. It's just because he is a DJ, he listens out to those type of things.
Blaming on the juice, got you feeling loose.
But the DJs over there, the man don't know how to mix.
Nah,
they legit play the whole song.
Usually,
the whole song. You could count on that whole song being played out. I heard parts of the song I never heard before in my life. I thought it was a different tune because I didn't know this was part of the song. Chad.
DJ always cut off after the first verse.
Yeah, them kind of ones.
Once
like
the chorus come back around for like the second time.
That's it. Song done. Switch. No, but they want to play everything.
They play the whole like that's a legit. At a moment, I thought it was like Spotify.
Just had a playlist running.
Yeah, and they were mixing at the end because some of them weren't even beat matching the songs at all. It was just
completely different BPM.
It was just horses like running on the field.
But sometimes it's like you tell a 14-year-old, yo, look, check that out.
Just switch from the zouk to the EDM vibe and thing, while you slow down with the thing now you're
big man, I think by one of the bars they had a crazy transition. I think it was some kind of hip hop, and then man started running Linkin Park and them kind of and
unless you was playing the album that Jay-Z has with Linkin Park, and then
it was like
Linkin Park.
When I mean hip hop, I mean like it was like a Drake or a Future song or something like that. Not even Linkin Park now. Linkin Park would have been almost.
Can they still rap at least?
Yeah, it would have been almost thing that it was Nickelback.
Look at this photograph.
Not even that one. It was. What was?
I don't even remember now. But what he's saying is true.
I can say I'm not Nickelback fan, but I have a good bit of these tracks. I know.
I was singing the song that I know.
I had know the song. I am not going to I know the song, but the fact that he was playing it, and the fact that it would be played in the club after the song, like, nah, come on, man. Yeah. Okay. And I think he was like, this is how you remind me of one of them. No, King, no, rap, no, I am not allowing that.
I didn't even get a chance to start, and you done it by scene.
But yeah, and that
sound like a hater right there.
It's okay, King. You could do that, not on the podcast.
The world needs haters too. I mean, everybody needs an occupation.
It's balance now. Life is about balance.
Okay, but question.
Answer.
Was it only just drinking and partying that y'all did during this trip to Malta? Was there any kind of cultural activity that y'all visited?
We had one day.
I don't know if Malta have museums.
Yeah, man. Malta got a lot of history, dog. A lot. Malta is rich with history. Did we see any of it?
I know Italy got a lot of that, but I know what Malta's saying.
But
Malta has the oldest. Just to put this in perspective, if you want to look at the oldest buildings in Europe, go to Malta.
I think they have the oldest catacombs as well, or the largest catacombs in the world. In the world, not just Europe, in the world.
True.
So I mean, they have it. They have a lot of stuff, but I mean,
to
be quite honest, that was not really like the
intent of the trip.
No, not
we
even.
just wanted to escape the cold. That's basically what we wanted to do.
I wanted to party, so that's why we chose Malta. So this is my graduation gift to myself. So that and a lot of dog. For even in St. Maarten, a mixed drink, if we're not including Tantra, like those real upscale like in St. Maarten terms, if like $60, a mixed drink is like, if you want a Captain Morgan Coke, how much is in like by Sagi? Like maybe $4, $5?
Maybe something like that, yeah.
Somewhere around. I've been in St. Maarten in like 3 years. Like €3 for that in Malta now. A Long Island iced tea was €6.
A big glass.
A big glass.
Sound like they're doing alcohol the right way over there.
The right way, and it fucks you up the wrong way, boy. Jeez. I mean, none of us overdo it. None of us had like bad hangovers, but
I would much prefer that than this calculated, the precise amount type of thing they're doing over here in this country. Like, I get it from a business point, but I'm not the business owner.
We in 3 nights of going out, we spend less than 1 night here in Amsterdam.
Yep.
And I think it's been
That's
documented.
including eating
and all drinking. No entrance fee.
Yeah.
All the clubs and bars is free.
We need to reach out to Malta Tourist Bureau and be like, y'all should pay us for this. We're doing a PSA, and this is promotion for Malta and things like that. But
the only thing with Malta is they got a lot of strippers rocking around.
But yeah, the thing is with the Maltese women is like, okay, well, my opinion is an interesting mixture between like they kind of look Latin, but they kind of give you this like Italian feel as well. So is dangerous if you like the whole Latin women vibe because they got bodies. But you see now these days you don't know if they're real or not.
In your opinion, appearance wise, what would be the distinction, typical distinction between a Latin and an Italian woman?
Italian women are more slender. Okay, in my opinion, again, Italian women are more slender, so they tend to be more on like the taller side. I guess that was the whole Europe vibe, and the body frame.
When you say Latin, what type of Latin are you talking about? Spanish, Spain.
No. I talking about like Dominicana,
Latin American, Colombian.
I assume that is talking about
like
things,
Dominican Republic, Aruba, them type of. I mean,
because when I think Latin, I'm like, somebody in Spain, in my opinion, probably would look a lot like somebody in Italy, and there would be like some overlap.
Yeah, no. I mean like Caribbean Spanish,
lighter skin,
Caribbean
darker,
Latin,
maybe brunette type of hair and stuff like that.
No, but I mean more of like a Caribbean Latin type something. So they remind me a lot of that. I don't know if Woods would agree.
Yeah. Some of not a majority of them, but also I don't know. That was just something I noticed. They too much on their appearance.
Sound like a very Latin thing.
Yeah.
They got too much makeup. They got too much makeup on.
All right, they did a cake up. Did a cake up over there.
Sound like a very Latin.
But I was telling these man is almost no different in Holland because to me I just see the same things over here when it comes to like the amount of makeup applied. Like you can just legit like.
This is what YouTube has done. Every female you know has multiple YouTube makeup tutorial people subscribe to. This is a guarantee. I'm telling you, this is a fact. I field tested this theory. Ask any female you know, and they have multiple youth of makeup and hair, hair bloggers. They have at least one of both. Maybe they got the just all around beauty that doing both of them at the same time.
So I got a question. So if women mostly subscribe to the hair and the makeup, what do men mostly subscribe to other than gym?
Well,
other than stereotypical gym, what else do you think man is to subscribe to?
I subscribe to a lot of stuff on YouTube. Like I spend way too much time on YouTube.
I don't watch things on YouTube.
I watch like my 90% of my media consumption comes from YouTube. Yeah.
For me, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if it would be 90 because Netflix is pretty close there. Netflix and YouTube is the majority of my media consumption, generally speaking. I ain't even gonna lie. Like on YouTube, for me, it would probably be like Philip DeFranco show, Joe Rogan podcast, Breakfast Club. I used to watch Everyday Struggle, but I mean, Joe gone, no purpose in me watching that.
Academics.
The Joe Budden podcast, another thing I'm subscribed to.
But they got videos on it for their podcast as well.
That's like
the whole thing is visual. The
in
whole
a podcast,
3 hours.
so nobody doing
no, but it's still a podcast.
We in the visual age, though. You just gotta have that added element. If you're putting it on YouTube, cause they own stuff on Tidal and other things as well in just pure audio form.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have it like that.
I guess I hold in just like the true old school definition of podcast.
But yeah, we transition. We move past that era.
But I mean, is obviously I think we are a prime example of that because before we added video, we had 20 something views.
I mean, you can see the power of video. I mean, just looking at all of our stuff that don't have.
Speaking of that, I actually want to shout out all our fans and all listeners and everybody that been watching and viewing because we hit the 100 view mark.
Oh yeah.
Choo choo.
All
aboard the hype train.
That was an odd sound effect.
Choo choo.
Between this one, anyway. Between you and Bob, I don't know who's worse. But
there is no worse.
We hit 100 views on two videos.
On two videos, so we would like to
our first time clearing the 100-meter mark, 100 minute.
I find
view
this is something special to me because I never had 100 people interested in anything I was doing. I don't even talk to 100 people on a monthly basis.
I understand.
So is much appreciated, and like to thank everybody for sticking through the 45 minutes to hour episodes because we never actually do a half hour episode. So again, just to thank everybody and continue to like and share and subscribe and all that.
I remember when we was actually having those conversations about maybe we should do
just
30 minutes.
Half hour.
30 minutes and we didn't even get into nothing probably by the time 30 minutes hit.
We still
done
in the
went
intro.
off topic and done all kind of other stuff.
Speaking of 30 minutes,
we getting kind of close.
We're getting close to the first break of the podcast. But before we go to the first break of the podcast, I got a question.
Answer.
Are you guys ready for Smash?
Oh God. Yes, was I ready to cut your ass? It's like a cut your ass and poking.
King, are you ready?
I guess. I mean, I don't know if it got anything to do with me.
I mean, like,
if I come through one of these game nights, I
gonna buy a Switch.
This is a rule. This is a rule that we have to establish right now. If we ever get into an argument, we don't fight. We just settle it in Smash.
Okay, interesting.
And if you lose, you can't talk about this topic no more.
Just take it.
I can't really agree with
that. You gotta buy the Switch and start training, buddy.
Look, I tell you already, you know what? That ain't really come out properly. So
With that said, we're gonna take our first break.
Yeah, I think that's a good way.
And when we back,
we'll be back shortly.
Alright, then King with the spoon.
Okay.
Mr. Deep Voice.
No, for real. We'll be back shortly. Yes, and we're back from break. You know who we are. Like, I was just thinking like the start over the podcast all over again.
But on a more serious note, so you see this whole and I would assume that y'all just list off like y'all been watching media and all that kind of thing. So you've been obviously like this whole mass shooting thing.
Tuned in. A little bit of what's going on.
All this mass shootings and thing been going on in the States, right? So I've been hearing it over the past couple of weeks and stuff like that, and hearing different people's opinions and stuff like that. And like a lot of the black, we have this joke they have this joke in the black community about here, you never black people always going to school with guns. You never actually see anybody
a mass shooting never happened and the black people was the perpetrator.
And it's kind of true. So I actually look well. Okay, I ain't going to say I do like in-depth research, but like a quick Google search will show that from late 1890 something like that. Going back, I like 1920 something.
Okay.
Between that, between then and now, they must have had at least the mass shootings. There's only been 17 of them in black people.
That sounds a lot, but you have to keep in mind.
Man says like from an 80-year period or something.
Yeah,
like
not only an 18-year period, but considering like the other vast minority was the majority was like 520 something.
Exactly.
Of what has been white people.
And this year alone, we've already had 18 mass shootings in the States.
Yeah, but then people would say, well, look at it proportionally, look at it percentage-wise and stuff like that. If black people make up 12 or 13%, however much it is that they do of the U.S., it's somewhere around 12, 13, maybe 14% in the U.S. population.
I think
would would you really expect... I've heard the 12, 13 number thrown around there. I just assume by now it's probably maybe 14 or something like that.
I just look up the article quick there that I was checking. I kind of vastly exaggerated. But according to this, obviously the mass shootings we're talking about in America or something.
Yeah, because that's where it mostly happens.
The number of incidences that have been white male has been 56, not 500. That was a vast exaggeration. And black 16, Latino 7, Asian 7, Native American 3, other 5, and unknown 3. I have no idea what the hell an unknown is.
Like Rachel Dolezal.
Yep.
Rachel Dolezal. Like, I don't know if
the girl who was like
I'm white, but I identify as black.
Is that
transracial?
Is that allowed?
I mean, she's like
I feel bad for even mentioning her, putting more light and stuff on people that's mentally disturbed.
That was the thing of the conversation.
We just need to let her.
Just like Dave Chappelle said, she would have to change her name to the blackest name I've ever heard, just for me to even think about acknowledging that.
Anyway, trying to acknowledge.
Anyway, I trying to get off of that. Y'all just stick it on the name. So why I did looked up into that a little bit more was because I was just curious. According to my knowledge, I never hear of a mass shooting in the Caribbean. And I actually tried to look it up, and I found nothing from Lesser Antilles, nothing from even like Jamaica or somewhere who has like rampant amount of violence. Like is like not a mass. I mean, gang violence. I guess gang violence and mass shootings is completely different.
If you look at the definition of mass shooting, I believe it's about something like 15 people or something.
That was my next question. That was my next question, Toy. Do you actually know what is considered to be a mass shooting?
4+.
No.
Yes.
4+.
4. True. Now, when I mean, okay. A loss of death is a loss of death. I mean, a loss of life is a loss of death. What the hell is a loss of death? Anyway, a loss of life.
You lose your debt, no?
Hey, that's what our students hope for. Yeah. That's what our students hope for.
A loss of debt.
If the debt could just get lost and disappear somewhere, like, we don't need it to come back. We need to
a loss of life is bad, period. Like, there's no way to put it. But when you think of a mass shooting, like, what number are you really thinking of? Like, if you have to hear there was a mass shooting, what was the first number you would think of?
I mean, the only reason I know about it. The only reason I know about it is because I read about it.
Yeah,
but I would assume like above 3, because
I don't know.
Maybe, you know why I see it that way. I think it's because like as soon as you have like, because usually when you talk about mass shooting, that means that there's been multiple bullets fired, but only a certain amount of people actually died.
Maybe
that doesn't mean that
I had a different thing of it.
That still means that some people got shot, but they didn't die.
Okay, because when I hear mass shooting, I thinking by a lot of people dead. When I mean a lot of people, I thinking like 20 and above. So when I actually did the research and I saw it was only like they only consider mass shooting to be like 4 or like between 3 to 4 deaths, 3 to 5 deaths is like wow.
And then still, like, look at the numbers that show, like, if the threshold of the bar is so low for it to be considered a mass shooting, and it's still, like, what, black people was 6, you say? Like...
16. 16 and Caucasian. And this is men. These is males we're talking about.
Because usually men are, like, if you look at who caused, like, if there was a terrorist, like, wallpaper that you would have to look out for, like
a white man
wanted list. This watch out for this type of character. It would be young white male in his teens, early 20s.
But
that cause mass shootings.
So then my question is, why is mass shootings different than or gang violent shootings?
Because gang violence usually it's two sides. Like it's something that you could imagine happening. Whereas a mass shooting is just someone walking into a building with there is no reason whatsoever for it. There's
always a reason.
Yeah, there is a reason, but the reason is not a preempt. Like, it's not something that you could just imagine happening. Like, if you're in a gang, right? If let's say we're in Bloods or Crips, and we are always fighting.
That's how every mass shooting. That's how they report it.
But that's the thing. So
and
like,
they try to always minimalize it and make it seem like, oh, this is just an isolated incident. He was just a loner that was disgruntled and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Every time there's a mass shooting, and then a couple months later or a year later, or whenever it is, there's another mass shooting, because they treat all of these things as if, oh, it's just an isolated incident. It's the same thing when they talk about police brutality cases and stuff like that. They paint it in the same narrative. Oh, this is just an isolated incident. He was a bad apple. There is no real problem and thing. That's why things don't change. If you don't ever actually look and see, okay, what was the underlying cause? What's the root of this? Why does it keep happening? It's going to keep happening if you never address the problem.
I guess. I kind of understand. I think what Woods was saying in the beginning is like the mass shooting is like is one side versus nobody able to like defend itself. With gang shooting, it's like, all right, I gonna shoot you, I gonna shoot at you, you gonna shoot at me, and we gonna see who dead.
There's usually a. Like if let's say,
if you're talking a drive-by and thing, that in my opinion a drive-by shooting could easily be considered.
That's a mass shooting.
Depending on how it like plays out, depending on who all was out on the block or whatever when the car passed by and drive, like that easily could fall under a mass shooting depending on how many bullets were sprayed, what they use. If it's like they got handgun or they got like AR-15, which seemed to be the popular weapon and stuff in the news and whatnot.
That's another something. Everybody there thinking about I think it's the Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, and
Second Amendment.
Second Amendment, yeah, in America, that one.
First Amendment.
Why do I know the U.S. Constitution better than they do the Maarten on? The power of U.S. propaganda, you know.
But it's not
only by media,
but no.
Yeah, but it's what you choose. Is what you choose to tune into.
No, but it's not just the amount that. In general, in U.S. media, the Second Amendment or just different parts of the Constitution, like they make sure that these things is put into their media and stuff, so people would know.
I can say the American Miranda rights by heart.
Like the amount of things I know of places in the States, I know just through rap songs, dog.
Yeah, but they promote it. Like it's like the difference is like if you want to know, the Netherlands have their own constitution, but if you want to know about it, you have to look it up because they don't have people just being like, I have a right to bear arms but I have a freedom of speech that's in my amendment.
The power of U.S. propaganda. Because this whole American dream and all of these things, like America being the land of opportunity and all of these things are products of the American propaganda machine because they're great at convincing the world that they're the best country in the world. Like, you say it enough times, people start to believe it.
And then eventually, a white guy named Trump becomes president, and all of a sudden the States is not a very beautiful place to go at anymore.
Yeah, but then at the same time, Trump, to a certain extent, I heard
Depending
this.
on who you ask, it been now.
I was just gonna say, not only
Trump ain't to blame.
Only that, but
no, I know, but
I heard this.
Perception.
I heard this view, and I kind of agree with it as well from Charlemagne. He was like, Trump being president is kind of a symbol of hope to America at the same time too, because that legit means you could be whatever the fuck you want. Anybody could be what they want if they try hard enough. Like there's no excuse to
even if you're unqualified for the job, just apply. You never know.
The difference is, and this is where we're going to get a little deep. If Trump was a black or colored,
he wouldn't get away with half this.
He wouldn't even
man privilege.
Yeah, but
that plays a role into it.
But that's the only flaw in that logic.
I ain't get no $1 million loan from my parents. If I get $1 million loan,
he didn't get $1 million loan. He got a $200 million loan.
No, he got
with $100 million.
He started the whole business thing with $1 million loan from his father.
No, he got $1 million loan from his father, and then that thing went bankrupt, and then he got $100 million help from his father.
How could you not be a successful businessman with $1 million to start?
In the 70s and the 80s?
It's possible.
Listen. If you have $1 million, that's your starting point. Like, one of the main things why people would be risk averse is because it actually involves risk. When you have $1 million as a cushion for whatever, you know that you got people around you that could just dish out.
Like
who you
your dad.
know could just be like, look, here's $1 million. You know what's $1 million? Like, I can't even properly conceive that amount of money, and you just get that.
In the 70s and 80s, no.
That would...
You have to keep that in mind.
But then at the same time, too, I mean... You have to think about it. We all know a couple of friends. If we had to give them $1 million, they would blow down some unnecessary shit.
For sure.
So I mean, it's you as a character as well. I mean, again, not to say like I backing up Trump, but you gotta give Jackie.
No. But he failed.
Listen.
He didn't like the loan he got from his dad. The first money that his dad gave him to make something from it. He did. He failed miserably, and his dad had to come and bail him out.
Oh, see, I don't know all that.
So he's like, this has to be said because this notion that Trump is this successful businessman because he's smart, that's not the case.
And
you
there's
have
been
3
studies
casinos. Casinos never lose. You have casinos in Las Vegas, Sean. Right. And they go bankrupt. That's like having the most beautiful girl in a
That's
strip
like
club.
Not being able to sell water in the desert, dog. If you can't sell water in the desert, you failing. Like, just stop now. If you could manage, if you can't
That's
get
a
people,
better analogy than what I was
people
going
to
to
come get your water from you,
that's a better analogy.
That's a test analogy.
One thing we have to stop doing, and I've seen a lot of my colleagues been doing this. Stop calling Trump smart. He's not smart. Don't give him that title. He's privileged, and that's all it is.
To add to that, there's been studies shown where it's like
I don't, man.
Like, there's been studies showing that when it comes to stock market success and these type of things, the one key factor is playing, getting into the game. Because there's been research where they had like expert stockbrokers and stuff like that picking stocks for a certain amount of period, and they had a group of monkeys and things like that. They had like balls or whatever and stuff, and with whatever indication and thing, and based on whatever ball the monkeys pick or something like that, they would invest in that stock. And they did these things, and it was like, yo, the difference between the expert stockbrokers and stuff like that over like the 2-year period or whatever in terms of their stock choices and these people, there wasn't much difference. Like, and this same type of study has been done with different groups of animals. I think like one was with monkeys, and I don't remember the other set of animals they did it with, and the results was more or less the same.
I mean, we see what happened with the last World Cup in the octopus. So,
it's not even that.
I'm trying to say is like, you just got to get into the stock market, and if you have $1 million to play around with in the stock market, you cannot not make money off of that. You put 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 10,000. You know how much times you could do that with $1 million?
But then that's you as a logical person. It's like there's also, I just saying, there's also
this is why I'm saying I agree with what Wood's saying 100%. I'm not congratulating this man for turning $1 million into more money. Any idiot could turn $1 million into more money.
And keep in mind, he didn't even make money. He lose money in the 80s.
Some might, because you may say, okay, look at all the hip hop people or whatever and thing that come into money and thing and lose it. There was never in a situation that Trump has been. If you have people around you in a family situation that have made millions of dollars, they're not going to let you lose that same like somebody in your family has the knowledge, the know-how, the business savvy and stuff like that to have made it to millions of dollars.
If you going to listen to them, and what kind of investments you going to make?
There are certain things that you don't even like. There's lots of things that I know that's literally absorbed through osmosis. Just being in an environment around certain people based on the knowledge that my mother had, the career choices and things that she did. You just learn. Like, I know different things about being a teacher because my mother was a teacher and stuff like that. She would talk about this would be the conversation in the household. When you have people who are leaders, CEOs of companies and things, what do you think is that household conversation? How much knowledge and different, there are certain concepts that people in the black community might not even ever hear about and stuff that just regular everyday talk within the Trump household.
I've never heard people like, hey, so what are you gonna do?
And especially
what are you gonna do your next million?
Especially when you have a culture that's grown around
just dealing with finances and being responsible, maybe investing in this and that and this, like certain way. I'm not saying there's no black people investing in nothing like that, but it just means the level of financial literacy and things like that is a difference, and these things are passed down generation because a lot of it we are not taught in school when it comes to how to invest in the stock market, how to start businesses and these things. Is a lot of all of that is second nature to this. If you're raised in a household where your father is a successful businessman that been doing this, and then you just gonna absorb those things naturally, which is why I feel like I'm not rewarding Trump for getting $1 million loan and then as Wood say, losing it and then making back more and all of these. Like,
look,
John Oliver did an expose on Trump and all his business things, and look at how terrible of a businessman he is because of all the failed things. Like,
I mean, Trump University. Come on.
No,
I think
he made money out of that. It's just people got fucked out of that.
But
he made his money in a fucked up way.
Obama had said something that I had really think with. He was like, "There's no way you could claim yourself to be a successful businessman and you owe people money or you don't pay people." And
but that's Trump's
and things like that. And,
MO.
That's
his MO.
He's but
he's shameless.
We kind of went off where I wanted to actually discuss because the whole thing is you had actually bring this up, King. The AR-15 seemed to be the weapon of choice. How the public getting their hands on that? I mean, the right to bear arms is something between having like a hunting rifle, maybe a shotgun, a little 9 here and there. Okay, cool. But there's no reason anybody should have a Uzi or AR-15. Though.
Look, if you look in the US as a whole, if you look at the US as a whole, the most of people agree with you. They don't want those weapons to be sold. But you have people that make those weapons and people that benefit from those weapons. They want those weapons to be sold. So what happens is you have those people then go and lobby and make those weapons legal to be sold, and then they don't want those weapons not to be sold anymore.
Shout out the NRA.
So
no,
you have
actually
you
I'm
have
not saying anything.
The
man got far reaching. I ain't got no kind of power. So I ain't want them man to conspire against my ass.
The NRA is just a face. The real people that are pulling the strings are the gun manufacturers. Those are the ones that are making the money.
Shout out to Lockheed Martin and all of them.
It's the same thing with all these wars. Who are making the most money? They're these weapon manufacturers.
You would be able to like. So like if your father was one of these weapon manufacturers, you would be able to like take over the family business like morally and ethically.
Yeah, you might not even think about it. Why? Because you're
you as in now, not you growing up in that household.
See, that's the problem.
That's something different. That's something.
That's exactly why I would say yes.
Yeah, I know. That's why I twist it there. You as the person you are now. Would you be
possibly yes, still yes?
Would you be able to? Why you say yes?
Because the justification I probably would use is Lockheed.
Yeah, how you to make yourself feel better?
Lockheed Martin, Boeing, all of these companies is people who make planes, and we also just make weapons on the side. Lockheed Martin, they make jet engines.
Okay,
but they're also weapons manufacturers.
So what about man like Smith and Wesson, who like legit only making guns?
Look, legitimately, there is no like if you just look at it morally speaking, there is no
like. Would you be able to live with yourself?
There's no ever way to justify making any type of weapon. You're making a weapon to kill something. You have to take your morals and you're setting it aside. There's a market. The market has a demand, and if you're in that business, and if you know, okay, this is how my family is going to survive. As long as there's demand, there will be supply. That's human nature. It doesn't matter.
But
you can even talk about crack and like switch it around and you're selling crack, people going to die.
Would you be able?
But there's still demand, right?
But the question is, would you be able to morally?
I can.
Would you?
I cannot.
So if your father, your father have like your
last name was Smith and Wesson.
Yeah, your last name is Smith and Wesson. You the heir to the.
You're asking me that's
Woods asking
right now,
Woods.
I'm too much of a
hippie.
I would say guy. Yeah. I'm what's the right word?
You're a modern day hippie.
I was about.
You're a modern day hippie.
Feminist, whatever you want to call it. Humanist, world citizen. I think that's the correct term. I'm a global citizen, and I don't
social justice warrior.
Look.
You just
here's the fact. I've never punched. I've never fought in my life. I've never punched a person other than my cousins, which is a whole other story. That's just that's family love. You fight with your cousins, that's something you do. But I've never fought in my life. Never punched someone. I've always been able to talk my way out of situations. So if you're asking me,
listen, Maarten.
If I grew up around, I've seen stuff. But I've always
once you hear that, what happened, or what you watching me for? There's not much coming after that.
I never watch people.
Yeah, but you don't have to. You could just be glancing and feel a type of way.
Why you think I love all these Japanese people so much? I inside the house most of the time. No? Avoid people, that's the way you say all the trouble. No, but legitimately speaking, like, I could not. Me, as how I am right now as a person, I would not be able to.
Second question.
I think I would.
Teachers with guns.
Stupid idea.
Yo.
Hey, but
okay, you know, we're going to
we have to wrap up this.
Yeah,
podcast
this will be a little thing.
know?
So actually, this is a good segment. I mean, a good thing, a good way to end. For all our listeners who actually, comment and give us things, leave us know personally or wherever what you find about this whole gun thing, and if teachers should have guns, and then we're going to give our opinions next week.
The next one, and preferably in the YouTube comments, just so that they're all there and stuff in the localized place, so we could see the conversation and kind of keep it a little orderly.
We would more
for this
prefer
question,
that.
we prefer it in the YouTube comments.
And we would be active as well, so we would be interacting with y'all in the comment section.
We ain't that big yet, we ain't that bougie yet. We gonna link up with people.
If you see Bizarre Mental in there, that's me.
Oh God, yeah.
But the man gotta get his plug. But people got appointments and things to go.
With that being said, thank you everybody again for sitting through this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have anybody you want us to talk to specifically, let us know. If you have any topics you want to specifically talk about or want us to talk about, let us know as well. With that being said, King,
we'll see you the next time we link up.
Bless.
Bye.